In a shocking turn of events that has left the entire hip-hop world in disbelief, Rick Ross was ambushed and injured just moments after being released from jail, a brutal retaliation allegedly orchestrated by none other than 50 Cent, who wasn't satisfied with just having Ross locked up and decided to make his comeback a nightmare instead. What was supposed to be a moment of relief for Rick Ross quickly turned into chaos, pain, and betrayal. The rap mogul, real name William Leonard Roberts II, had just stepped out of jail after facing serious charges linked to accusations many fans believe were planted or fueled by his longtime nemesis, 50 Cent. But instead of walking into the light of freedom, Ross was met with fists, fury, and flying fists from a group of masked men who seemed to know his every step. What's worse, word on the street is that this wasn't random. It was personal, calculated, and backed by someone with a long memory and a thirst for dominance. Curtis 50 Cent Jackson. Now, let's rewind for a moment. This beef between 50 Cent and Rick Ross didn't start yesterday. It's a saga that has stretched across years. Mixtapes, memes, diss tracks, lawsuits, and real-life threats. What started as lyrical jabs escalated into something far darker. But this latest chapter? This is unprecedented. Because 50 didn't just diss Ross in music or throw shade on social media. He allegedly made moves behind the scenes that got Ross locked up. And when the system spat him back out, bloody but not broken, 50 still wasn't done. It all started a few months ago when Ross was unexpectedly arrested on charges tied to financial misconduct, tax irregularities, and, according to inside sources, alleged connections to certain underground operations. But here's the kicker. Multiple insiders believe 50 Cent had a direct hand in surfacing those charges. One unnamed industry executive said, "Look, if you know 50 like I do, you know this man doesn't play fair. He plays to win. If he had information that could take Ross down, he wouldn't hesitate for a second." And when he did, temporarily, Ross was detained, headlines exploded, and 50 sat back with his signature smirk, throwing cryptic posts on Instagram, hinting at Ross's downfall. But then the twist happened. Ross didn't crumble. He got lawyers, built a defense, and within weeks managed to beat the case, at least enough to earn a release pending further investigation. That should have been the end of it. But 50 Cent has never been one to let someone walk away unscarred. The ambush happened outside a Miami holding facility. Ross had just stepped into a black SUV when a dark one sped up alongside, screeching to a halt before 3 masked men jumped out and attacked him. Witnesses say they were armed, not with guns, but with blunt objects, bats, and brass knuckles. It was like they wanted him hurt, not dead, said one eyewitness. They went for the legs, ribs, face. It was targeted, surgical. Ross was rushed to a nearby private hospital, where his team tried to keep everything under wraps. But the news leaked fast. And what fueled the flames even more was a mysterious tweet that showed up hours after the attack, posted by a burner account many believe is tied to 50 Cent's crew. It simply read, "Freedom comes with consequences." Let that sink in. Rick Ross had been through rap beefs, legal drama, near-death experiences before, but this was war. And this time, it wasn't on wax. It was in real life. And the people who used to laugh at 50 Cent's trolling, they're not laughing anymore. Now here's where things get really messy. Because while Ross is recovering, quietly plotting his next move, the streets are already talking. The speculation is that this attack was a message, not just to Ross, but to anyone who dares step into 50's lane or challenge his control. And if that's true, then we might be witnessing the start of a new era of hip-hop, where old beefs don't just get reignited, they get physical. 50 Cent hasn't publicly confirmed or denied involvement, but his social media activity has been suspiciously pointed. On the day of Ross's attack, 50 posted a picture of a lion chasing a wounded hyena with the caption, "Lions don't need to roar, they just move." Fans took that as a declaration. Subtle, ruthless, classic 50. Meanwhile, Ross's camp has remained mostly silent, except for a brief statement from his manager claiming Rick is recovering and thankful to be alive. But there's a noticeable absence of the bravado we've seen from Ross in the past. No Instagram Live, no flexing, no cryptic messages. Just silence. And in the hip-hop world, silence is often the loudest sound of all. Industry insiders are now warning that this might escalate into something even bigger. Because Ross isn't the only one 50 has beef with. And if he's bold enough to allegedly orchestrate an ambush, what's stopping others from retaliating? This is turning into street-level politics now, said one anonymous producer. You mess with the boss, you mess with his whole circle. This could spin out of control fast. And let's not forget the fans. Social media is exploding with theories, memes, and support for both sides. Hashtags like #JusticeForRoss and #50did have been trending simultaneously. One user wrote, "I always thought 5-0 was just a troll, but if he really did this, that's power." Others are begging for peace, saying the genre doesn't need more violence. But peace seems like a fantasy at this point. The gloves are off, and blood has been drawn. One lingering question remains, though. Why now? Why go this far? The answer lies in pride and principle. 50 Cent doesn't just fight battles. He finishes them.